Hey everyone, Ethan Word here from Word Tech Reviews again, and I've got another video for you guys. So I'm going to be reviewing this time the Beyeredynamic DT770 Pro 250 ohm edition headphones. Now I want to go ahead and warn you guys, it's going to be a little bit of a longer video, but I'm going to try and go in depth as best I can with them. And I've been using them for almost 6 months now, actually. I just haven't gotten around to filming the video until now. But I will say, my initial impressions, I am very, very impressed with these headphones. Okay everyone, so to start off, I'm just going to give you a little quick physical overview of it, and there are some little details in the physical overview that really show, the value that you're getting with these. So first off though, I want to go ahead and let you know, so it does have a 3.5 millimeter jack here at the end, and it's which will plug into your basic desktop PC and whatnot, but I know a lot of the amps and whatnot out there are going to be using the 1/4" adapter. Now the set, I don't have it here with me, does come with a 1/4" adapter that screws onto the end here. It's a gold-plated 1/4" adapter, really nice one. I'm sorry that they didn't have it here to show you. Maybe I'll be able to get it some B-roll, we'll see. But anyway, it's kind of nice to include that, especially on such a high-end pair of headphones. 250 ohms, really hard to drive. You're probably going to be plugging this into some sort of dedicated amp. So that starts with that. Now we also have a coiled cable. Some people hate these, some people love them. I personally love it. I'm able to run it under my desk, clamp it to the bottom of the desk, into the computer. It comes right up in the middle, right up to where I'm listening to them with, instead of coming off from the side. I love the coiled cable. That's something for you to decide, but it is not removable. So if you don't like coiled cables, if you absolutely hate them, which I do recommend giving them a try. These are desktop headphones anyway, they're not for portable use. But the cable's not removable, so you're stuck with the coiled version here, the coiled cable, and some people hate that, some people like it. I personally love it, but just a warning there for people that are maybe considering buying these headphones in case that wasn't something that they had realized yet. So to go ahead and continue this physical overview here, you've got these plastic cups on the end. Each cup just says DT770 Pro 250 ohms on the side. They're exactly identical on each side, and it's a pretty nice plastic. It's pretty thick, and it's got a little bit of a texture to it that kind of makes it look good. It reflects light in certain directions. It looks nice, so you guys will probably see that in the B-roll as well. And then you've got the left and right markers on it, along with the Beyeredynamic logo up there, and that is just for you to orient how you're wearing them. The cable goes on the left. That's usually the standard now, so just so you know though, it does have the markings on the side. So you got that. You've got two, I believe they're Torx bits on the inside here. So those are pretty cool. They're just, you can take it apart if you need to, although I doubt you would need to considering how well built these are. So the frame itself is going to be, I believe it's an aluminum. It feels like an aluminum. I haven't actually checked it out. It could be it's got to be aluminum. So anyway, you got it's a little bit of a brushed aluminum side pieces here. They look really, really good. And they're not too attractive to fingerprints. A little bit, like aluminum always is, but they don't seem to stain like some of the aluminum front panels on cases and whatnot that have the deep brush strokes in them. It's just a light brush, which is nice. So if you look on the back here, the actual cables for each headphone or each earpiece are coming outside of it, rather than running up inside like a chamber here and into the top piece here. So this is a little foam padding here. And basically this cable feeds into here, and one goes in here and they come out, and this one, the cable here just feeds over to that side to give this headphone power as well. Obviously the one for this one just goes right in, it doesn't have to come out. So anyway, that's something to maybe be concerned about. They're flexible, they're long, and they have pretty durable end pieces here with a little bit of a rubber grommet so that they can be pulled around without having to worry about breaking them. But, if you're reckless with your headphones, you could potentially pull that wire out, break the internals of the wire, maybe even cut it by accident. So just take that in a note that the wire is exposed at all times. I'm sure, maybe you could zip tie it down somewhere, although it's not really long enough for that. It would depend on how you have them adjusted. But just keep note of that. So then on the top here, you've got this pretty thick, it's not super dense, it's a little bit of a lightweight foam. Some people like that, some people don't. I personally like the lightweight foam rather than the really thick memory foam. But it is pretty thick and well padded. You don't feel the metal frame going around inside at all when you're wearing them, which is of course very nice. and you know, rightfully you deserve that on this high-end pair of headphones. So something to note though, when I first opened them, this is something I actually didn't realize at first either until I started looking around on them. They have buttons on the top, so you can go ahead and pop these off. Here, I'll go ahead and do this, and when you pop them off, you can fold it off, and you can take it off. I'm not going to take it all the way off just because for sake of time, but in here, the cables actually run, and the cables run through here. It's not held down by anything other than the padding on top that's buttoned down. And then you can see the metal frame going through here, which is very flexible, by the way. So it's kind of nice that you can remove this in case it gets dirty over time, which from my usage of it, it doesn't seem to get dirty very easy, but it's still definitely a nice feature to have. You could probably wash it under some warm water or something. I would have to look in the instructions for exactly how you would wash them. But it's nice to have that headband removable, because I know a lot of headphones have the removable ear cups, which these do as well. We'll get to that in a second. But a lot of them don't have a removable headband, and without the removable headband, that can kind of get gross if you keep them for a very long period of time, which if you're spending this much on headphones, you're probably going to keep them a while. So that concludes the top there. So just one last part of the physical overview here, and then I'll go ahead and get into the sound signature of them. So the ear cups themselves are indeed removable. They have this kind of they're mesh ear cups. This is I believe you can get them in you can get the set with a different kind of ear cups, but they are a mesh with a rubber seal around here that allows you to, you know, hang them on the edge of the headphone here. So anyway, yeah, they've got that nice padded foam there, which is a good idea. It's very comfortable on the ears, even if they are inside the ear cups. You know, you're not going to be pushing against the plastic border around here at all with your ears. It's going to be really comfortable. So that's something that I was really happy about there. And they are pretty easy to take. They're really easy to take off, and they're generally easy to put back on. So I'll go ahead and get this back on and then jump to the next section. Okay, I'm back. I got the ear cup back on. Took a second there. Sorry about that. But anyway, so it's nice to be able to remove the ear cups and wash them. So that's definitely an important thing. And I will say, once again, these are incredibly comfortable for wearing for long periods of time. I mean, you can wear them 8 hours straight, and they're going to feel great. The only thing is they're a little bit warm, so you know you might want to take a break every 2 hours or so for 30 seconds, use the bathroom or something, and let your ears cool off a little bit. But they are warm. That's partly because they are closed back headphones. So just to note for those people, they are closed back, so they are going to be noise canceling. And when it comes to noise cancellation, they actually did a really good job. So the really thick foam pads here provide a good job, provide good noise canceling, but also the fact, again, that they are closed back headphones provides great noise canceling. You can't really hear much with them on, and then when you turn music on, you basically can't hear anything. They're really nice to have. Not active noise canceling, but a lot of people don't like that anyway. It's just very good passive noise canceling. So that's something to note for anybody that is looking for headphones. If you're in a loud environment, you're definitely going to want to pick up a closed back pair. If you're looking for the best audio experience that's the most flat for mixing music and stuff, you're not going to want these because they're pretty flat, but again, they're a closed back headphone, and open back headphones tend to sound better. They give you a more directional feel. They give you more ambiance. They're definitely a better way to hear a lot of things. But I will say these don't do a bad job for closed back headphones. When you first take them out of the box, plug them into obviously a high-end amplifier or something, because they're 250 ohms, you're going to need a high-end amplifier to run these. But you plug them in, and the first thing you notice is they do sound very flat, especially for closed back headphones. They don't sound as flat as some of the open back stuff out there, but they are a very flat sound signature. Bass is a little bit enhanced. That's just by nature because of the closed back, but it's not a huge amount. In fact, it wasn't even enough for me. I prefer everything to sound good still, but a little bit of a heavier bass. So just to let you guys know, when I'm reviewing that's the kind of sound signature I like. I'm listening to a lot of house music, deep house, dubstep, stuff like that. That's the kind of music that I listen to, and so that's why I got these. That's the sound signature I like. And just to give you guys an idea, I tested these on the Creative Sound Blaster Z that I have installed in my system here. So that's how I tested them out, and they sound absolutely beautiful. So I went ahead and I gave it a few decibel boost on the lower end with an equalizer on the Creative Sound Blaster there, just so that I could get a little bit heavier bass. And I'll tell you, these sound, it's just mind-blowing how good they sound when you pair them with the right amplifier. So especially with that bass enhancement that I like, which is exactly what I was looking for when I bought these. So again, closed back, they're tuned a little bit towards the bassy side, but when you give them that boost, they boom and they're loud, and they are very, very, very smooth and clear. It's not muddy at all whatsoever. They sound wonderful when it comes to the low end there. Everything is spot on and perfect, but it's not distorted at all, and it doesn't drown out all the other sound, even when it's boosted up at a fairly high level. So that, I guess, segues pretty well into the mids and highs here. The mids and highs are wonderful. The mids and highs, I think the mids and highs are very, very well balanced. It's not really a treble cannon at all. Of course, I just said, let's tune towards bass. But the mids and the treble don't tune each other out. They're both there. You can hear them really well, and they sound wonderful. But I think the favorite thing that I have about the sound signature of these headphones is how good the mids and highs still sound. They still sound spot on and perfect when the bass is boosted so much higher. Now again, I added, I believe, on the equalizer a 3 or 4 decibel boost on the lower end, and then kind of scaled that down to flatten it out towards the end. I like a flat mid and high, but a higher bass, like I said earlier. And you can still hear every detail of the song. The bass is just there and is a little bit more accented, but doesn't drown anything out at all. They sound wonderful for that matter. So if you're looking for a good pair of headphones for heavy bass, and I think music listening and games and movie watching, they're wonderful for. The only real disadvantage they have in those scenarios there is they're not super directional like open back headphones with games. You could maybe use virtual surround sound, but I wouldn't really recommend it. But they do sound, they sound pretty open for closed back headphones. You still have a decent sense of direction, but I think everything else sounds really awesome on these. You can hear everything, every little detail of the mids and highs again, and then the bass can be boosted up and it doesn't drown anything out. For mixing purposes, you could probably use them. You might even want to tune the bass down a little bit on the equalizer, just because again they're a little bit heavier on the bass side, but they overall are a flat pair of headphones and would be good for mixing, especially if you're using it for mixing and for doing all the other stuff that you like to use, instead of having a separate pair of headphones for your mixing purposes. So that concludes my review here of the Beyeredynamic DT770 Pro 250 ohm headphones. I'll put a link in the description to Amazon in case you're looking to pick them up yourself, as well as a link to our website down there. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed the review, and I hope you guys might be considering these now, because trust me, you will not be unhappy with these headphones. They are amazing. Unless you like treble cannons, then that's your own thing and these wouldn't be for you. But for the most part, I think most people would be really happy with these. Thank you for watching.